Talked about feelings. Um,
Huh?
you go a little more in depth on like what type of feelings do you think people misconstrued?
Um, for me recognizing them or um
I guess we can do a little bit of both for like you and like maybe like in general too, because each person is different.
for me personally, I read anger too quickly and I always think people are mad at me.
Mm,
But that also might be just how I was brought up, in an abusive household. Like I somebody could be completely just like they could say just a normal sentence and I would read it as like they're angry at me or something. And
mm-hmm.
then that can either make me go into defensive mode and then or they get really emotional and start crying. And they're like,
Right.
"What is going on? Like why are you doing that?"
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that for the opposite side is when I speak to people, a lot of times um people will I have found from people giving me feedback uh is they tend to think that I'm bragging or
Mm.
insensitive,
Right.
and I see things as very black and white, and I like to make factual statements upon things.
Right.
And, like somebody would say like, "Oh, you're just bragging," when I would tell them like what college I attended, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm just telling you what school I went to."
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to kind of like learn like what is appropriate and what's not, and I have no idea still because like I don't know I can't figure it out.
It is rather challenging because I would say in the past 10 years, especially here in the states or just Western society, it's information is so sensitive. People are really sensitive. If that makes sense. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's so challenging.
yeah. I never know. I don't I don't want to upset anyone or have them feel like that I'm better than them,
Yeah.
just because of like what I'm good at. I'm like everybody's good at something. I just happen to have these interests and these are my strengths, and I'm not trying to brag about it. I'm just making a factual statement of this is what I fill my time with.
Yeah,
And yeah.
makes sense. And I think on the other spectrum of people that whom aren't autistic, I think they should also, in my opinion, learn a little more about it because if you take on online, for example, right, majority of people
Mhm.
online aren't aware of how to interact with someone that is autistic, right?
Yeah.
While people such as yourself that is autistic, you are constantly learning to adapt to socialize, right? So I think like you
Yeah.
guys are guys like in my opinion, the people that aren't autistic are giving you the short end of the stick. It should work like both ways, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I do I do get that.
Right.
Um
Yeah.
yeah, there's actual like therapy for that is like geared towards um quote unquote for autistic people to learn how to socialize or like
Right.
be in a normal like non like a non what neurotypical setting.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. And this opposite spectrum should also do that too. I feel like it. I mean, it would just be good to have when you're being raised.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how does that affect you online? Because you talked about, you don't want to misinterpret yourself, of how
Mhm.
you're saying things to another person. I can only imagine how difficult it can be online because again, you don't really have the face to face like interaction there. You don't really
Yeah.
hear the tonal voice. So how does that work over online?
I have started using more like emojis
Yeah.
on my messages so that I can convey uh a little bit more easy. Like I could say like that's fine, and somebody could take it as that I'm angry, or they could just take it as okay, that's fine. And you can't really. But if you say that's fine with like a smiley face, that shows them like, hey, okay, that's good, that's fine.
Yeah.
If I did like that's fine with like the eye roll emoji, you would know that I'm kind of teed off.
Yeah. It's rather interesting to think emojis have come this far to help tell emotions over online, you know?
Yeah,
But I guess in a way it helps out, right?
it does. Yeah, it helps out for me. I know some people don't like using them, but
Like
found that
myself,
that
I personally don't like using emojis, but that's just
yeah,
me.
I know there's people that don't like them, and yeah, that's I've noticed that's the easiest way that is universal because I in different languages it's a little easier, but in English
I could imagine.
it's a little different. English has very I don't know. English is weird.
English
Other
is.
languages there's certain words that you use for certain tones.
Alright, moving along. What challenges do you face in dating, being that you're autistic?
Um, I'm not sure if this is more autism or if it's just me because I don't know a whole lot of autistic people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I noticed that a lot of people in general, when I'm like in the dating community or whatever it is, the dating scene, like to be physical right away,
Mm.
and I'm more like, no, it's okay. We can. I need to like get a feel for you first before like we can even hold hands because like if I like the person or if I love the person, I'm all over them 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Hyper about them
Yep.
in every single way. But if I'm unsure, if I don't know them or whatever, it's do not touch me, get away from me. Like I am literally off put and disgusted by anything in that sense.
Yeah, it is actually pretty sad. You know, I hear
Yeah.
about that all the time from plenty of other females that so many guys just feel like that they have the entitlement or a sense of entitlement to be able to just physically touch like the very first interaction.
Yeah, I don't, and I know that like physical touch is some people's love language, but
Yeah.
I also feel like you should that out there first. Like, hey, I want to be able to touch you the first day, and then like that way I can be like, ah, yeah, no, don't do that. And then if you aren't okay with that, then move on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lead me on for 4 months, and then we have our first meeting or whatever,
Oh my
and
god.
they're like, hey, let's go upstairs and get in the bed and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no,
No.
no, I don't even know your favorite color,
They're
but
like, well,
no.
we've been talking for like 4 months. Isn't that good enough?
Yeah, and I'm like, I haven't even held your hand yet. Don't we need to like hold hands first?
Yeah, or something, something light
Yeah.
or soft,
But we haven't even discussed what each other likes in the bedroom. So I don't want you to just like go and do something that either would trigger me or like there needs to
Yeah,
be discussions about that first. Not the first sentence, but
yeah.
I've also found that when people find out about my workplace, one of my workplaces, they think that it's a easy
Invitation.
whatever. Yeah, it's an easy invitation, and that I just do whatever or will do whatever. And I'm like, no. It,
Yeah, that must be
I
very
do.
hard. How like if you could give us like a guesstimate out of like maybe I don't know, for percentage or something out of 10 guys, how often do you think that happens to you?
Um, percentage of people that think that I will just be like
Mm-hmm.
first date and go to the
Yes.
bedroom. Um, so far we're on a 10 out of 10.
Oh my gosh! Wow. I was like,
And it's been
wow, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Oh my god.
yeah, it's been 10 out of 10 so far,
Holy
and
shit.
I've been single over 2 years now.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Ghost Girl, what advice would you give to people that have autism about dating?
You can find somebody that is patient and willing to learn. That's basically a huge green flag.
Yeah.
Is and because like I'll may not find somebody that knows how to deal with overstimulation or, will just immediately accept all of you. If you have somebody that will at least like, be open to learn and open to communicate, that can go a long way.
Mhm.
And somebody that won't make fun of you for your specific interests or like your specific stems or whatever you need to do to regulate, like who will be patient and not that they won't get hurt by some of the questions you might ask, but I'm very blunt and black and white, and like I've a hard time with knowing what somebody wants to hear. So like if somebody comes up to me and they ask like, "Do you think I'm fat?" They will get a 100% honest answer. I I I don't know how to go about something like that. So you're gonna get an honest answer. And I feel like if you as an autistic person can find somebody that values that kind of honesty, um, that will also go a really long way. Because there's a lot of people that just want reassurance that they're like. There's a lot of people that want reassurance that they're still appealing or attractive, but they ask it in a way that they shouldn't to an autistic person. So
Mhm.
instead of saying like, in a normal conversation, maybe somebody would say like, "Hey, does this make me look fat?" And another person would say, "Oh, I think you look great." An autistic person like myself, if you come up to me and you say, "Does this make me look fat?" I would say, "Yeah, a little bit. You probably should change. That's not what you're going for."
Mhm.
But if you come to me and you say, "Hey, I'm feeling I'm feeling like I'm not attractive because I'm upset with my weight," a very base way, and just come to me and say, "Hey, I need reassurance," and I will know. Oh, okay. I will know to give you better, like criticism or praise rather than just
Mhm.
backhand it in a way.
Yeah.
So then I would know to tell you like, well, you're healthy, so like, it's just wait. Weight will come and go.
Mhm.
People get bigger, people get thinner, people get older. That's just the thing that happens. Your meat suit's just your meat suit. It just holds all your organs in.
Mhm.
So, but what it comes down to is how you feel about you. If you are unhappy with you and say you do want to lose weight because you're unhappy with you, let's do it in a healthy way and help you. I'll help you lose weight. Research diets, all get you to a doctor who can give you a better understanding of your body because not everybody loses weight the same way.
Yeah.
And what exercises you can do if you can do any, and what your limitations are, and et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
If you as an autistic person find another person that is willing to communicate in a way that is also direct like that, and not go around and try to ask one question to try to get another answer, like
Mhm.
it's not going to work with an autistic person. If you ask them a question, most of the time they're going to tell you exactly the question that you asked. You will not be finding the answer you want.
100%. Listen to the full episode on all major platforms.